Mon-Star of Limbo. Give me the might, the muscle, the menace of Mon-Star!
Hello and welcome to the channel. And today's video is a continuation of my Thanksgiving weekend / Black Friday pickups from Entertainment Earth, which was a trio of purchases of Super7's Ultimates Silverhawks figures. So in the last two videos we had a look at Quicksilver and Steelheart, and today we are checking out Mon-Star. This guy is a big boy. So this is the armored version of Mon-Star, my preferred version, much like Mumra from Thundercats, that they undergo a transformation for when they need to go into a battle and all of that. So the Super Mumra version was my favorite version. We're gonna have a look at him later on, just for size comparisons. But yeah, as far as Mon-Star goes, the armored version was my favorite version of the character. So yeah, this is a big box. Just to check out the standard dimensions for this box, this is over 12 inches, a 12.25 inch tall, and 11 and 1/3, about 11 and 11.25 also, 11.25 wide. Just for comparison, so this is the standard Silverhawk box. This is the Steelheart box. Let me just pull back a little bit just so you can get a better idea of the size difference. So yeah, this is a big boy. So let's have a look at what's inside. The camera is fairly separated from what I'm shooting from, so just to get everything in the shot, so I have to fully extend. So again, like all the standard Super7 figures, they come with a plastic bag to protect the actual packaging of the figure. Want to see it? Yeah. And here we have Mon-Star's packaging, in contrast with the Silverhawks. So this guy's packaging is in a red foil compared to the silver from the Silverhawks, which is appropriate, of course, because this is the character's colors. Here you have the big logo with Mon-Star's face. Nothing on the back. You do still have the Silverhawks logo here on the back embossed. And again, nothing on the sides. And then if we slip this cover up, we get to see the figure in all its glory. I'm gonna see if I can get that glare. we're gonna see the figure separately in just 1 second. But yeah, that's pretty much the packaging there for the figure. You do have the Silverhawks logo there at the bottom with the name. Of course, you get to see all of the accessories that comes with the figure, and but again, it continues that red and black color scheme. And then on the back, you also get his bio there in the back. And then again, nothing on the sides. Again, he also has the matte eyes, so when you turn it to the side, that's all you get to see pop up, right? There you have Mon-Star in his armored form. Let's take this guy out. Again, just like all the figures, they come with 2 trays. One to hold some separate accessories. I don't know if this guy's gonna be able to be held up. Let's see. Yes. Although there go the blast effects. But there you see the figure in his clamshell tray. So you can see some of the accessories that he comes with. So he comes with 2 heads that you can see. He comes with 4 sets of separate sets of hands, including the fist hand. So that's 5 sets of hands. You got these blast effects here. And then on the bottom tray, you get his blaster. You get these other blast effects, which are for his boost effects on his elbows. You got this other blast effect, which is the star effect that he shoots from his eye, which you're gonna see with that other alternate head. And then his companion, Sky Shadow, I believe, right, which is a bat. So we're gonna have a look at all of this separately in just a second. But I don't want to cause a heavy disturbance, so let me just pause and remove the figure from the tray. Okay, and here we have, if I sound out of breath, it's because this guy, wow, okay. Here we have Mon-Star outside of his packaging. And oh boy, he is a big one. And he also weighs a ton. But yeah, he is quite impressive. Just to get you a sense of how big this guy is, first let's take some measurements. To the top of his head, he's a little over 10 inches, and to the top of his spike, it's a little under 11 inches. For those who use the metric system, that's a little over 25.5 centimeters and 27.5 to the top of the spike. But just to get a sense of scale, I brought 2 other figures, that are some of the larger figures that I have in my collection so far. Here we have the from the Thundercats Super7 line. Here we have Mumra, Super Mumra, right? And you can see that he barely makes it up to Mon-Star's abdomen, just below his pecs. And then I'm gonna use this other figure from the McFarlane Mega Figures, or the DC Multiverse line, one of his Mega Figures, Bane. And Bane, which is also a very tall figure in his own right, he still is dwarfed by Mon-Star. And again, just by comparison, This is what it looks like next to a standard McFarlane figure. And your typical Marvel Legends. So yeah, a pretty impressive figure, and he needs to be right an imposing figure to put him up against the Silverhawks, right? Um, so I mean, where do I start? Well, let's start by having a closer look at his something that it was pointed out that I never noticed. I don't know if it's there in the animation as well, but some people say that you can actually see the face of a cat in his chest area. So these are the eyes, the nose, the teeth, right? So some say that that's a cat. But anyway, I'm gonna raise the camera just a little bit so we can pull him in a little closer. So yeah, it's pretty impressive head sculpt that they gave him, right? Of course, fully articulated as well. He can move slightly up and a bit down, but you don't need him to look up. I mean, he's the tallest figure. As far as in universe, he's the biggest figure. So who is he going to look up to? So he doesn't need to look up that much, except for when Silverhawks are coming down and attacking from the top, right? But he does have full movement and all of that. But yeah, quite impressive, the sculpt on this guy. Um, you can see no QC issues that I noticed. Well, actually, one, and some minor one. This little imperfection here in the plastic looks like a chip from this. They were cutting the mold off of the sprue at the factory. And then something here, right here. Well, other than that, the figures came in pretty solid. No major paint issues or anything. You can see some plastic, mold release here, but that can be cleaned up and removed. But yeah, all in all, the figure is quite impressive. And he is fully articulated, so although limited in articulation, you already saw the articulation for the head, but for the arms, he can move forward, but are hindered because of the shoulder pads. So there's some paint falling off. So you do have the ability to get him in a T pose, but that as far as up as you're gonna get. You do have a the bicep swivel, and the elbow is very limited. You can see that's pretty much all of the range that you're gonna get right there. But you do have the ability to twist the elbow, and then full articulation on the wrists, of course. And again, only going inside and out, although this one's very stiff. There you go. I heard some people say they wish they could have had the shoulder pads move along with the shoulders and in the full rotation. So in order to get movement towards the front, because otherwise you'll get hindered. This is as far as forward as you're gonna get. So they were saying if the shoulder pads were connected to the shoulder joint, then you can have full rotation going forward, which is of course sensible idea, right? And then upper torso, you do have a twist here. And then at the base, at the waist, you also have a waist turn. Legs, you can get them to go about 45 degrees. And then at the knee, he does get the full bend, well, from 90-degree bend. But you also get the knee twist here, rotation. Also, you do have a thigh rotation. And then at the bottom, you do have the ankle going up and down and side to side. And also left to right, inside out, however you want to call it. So again, as far, even though he's a pretty large figure, a pretty large armored figure, you do get a full, you do get a full complement of articulation, although just limited in some areas. Like I said, I'm fully extended, arms out. I'm about arm's length away from the figure, so holding up this heavy guy and pushing him around does get a little tiresome. But yeah, he is a pretty cool looking figure, I must say. So let's have a look at some of his accessories. Before going into all of the other accessories, let's just have a look at his other alternate head, which is basically the same. I mean, it's a mask, so it doesn't have expressions other than this one. Although you will see a difference in regards to this one does have painted teeth. That one does not have the painted teeth. I don't know if this is how that... I'm sorry. I don't know if this is supposed to be like this. I forget. I don't know if he always has red teeth and when he uses his power the teeth or something lights up and that's why it's different. But anyway, that's the only difference as far as the head sculpts. And also, of course, the difference is this one has an opening there on his eye to use one of the blast effects that I showed you earlier, which is this one right here, which is this moonbeam, star beam, I forget what it's called. And you just simply plug it into the opening, and you have something like this, where he is blasting Silverhawks left and right with his eye beam, right? So you can obviously plug this into his head. Just be careful and don't spike yourself, but it's easily removable. And there's minimal effort popping it in, so you can have this in full display. Oop. Like this, right? There you go. So the other accessories that he comes with, give me 1 second. Okay, so he does come with a full complement of extra hands. So he does have these gripping hands, or not gripping hand, but expressive clawing hand types. You also have these open expressive clawing hands, right? Ooh, everything's falling apart here. We also had one that fell off, which is a pointing finger, right? So you get a pair of those. And finally, this one, which I want to put up separately for what's coming up next. So this is another gripping hand, but this is the gripping hand to use with his weapon. So let me get that. Okay, so this is Mon-Star's. I don't know if it has a particular name. I'm just gonna call it his, his blaster thing, which comes in the end with a bit of the plug, some sort of thing at the end of the blaster. However, remember those blast effects that I showed at the beginning? These ones right here. At first, I thought that they were for this. However, they don't plug in. These have a blunt flat end, right? And this one has a peg hole, but the blast effect is too wide, so it does not fit here. So we're gonna see what we can use for later. But this is his blaster, pretty large. It's almost as tall as him. There you go, from the base, right? And then it's gonna be much easier to put on the weapon with the hand apart like this. And I was trying to figure out a way to how to put the weapon in his hand, and it's really easy actually. Actually, it was the other way around. So you do plug it in. You can slide it through the bottom here. Well, but through the thumb, not the fingers. So through the thumb, and then you just slide it down. There we go. And now he has the weapon in his gripping hand. See, the fingers and the grip itself is really tight. The plastic is really tight, so it's not easy. You can't just pry open the hand, the mold of plastic. You can't pry it open and then have it reset, because it's the plastic is really hard here, so it's really stiff. So you would need to heat it up in order to open the hand, slide the weapon, and then have it reclosed by itself. But that method that I found was, as you saw, it was a little easier to put the hand in the grip, right? And then you just simply detach the hand here. Well, there you go. Here you have him holding that weapon. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. But like I said, the blast effects that we have don't work with the weapon, so that's a little weird. And then we're gonna look at his companion, Sky Shadow. So Sky Shadow does have wing articulation. No articulation at the grips. His head, I believe, no, you can't. No, there is no articulation on the head. So we only get the movement here at the wings. As far as being able to perch him onto Mon-Star, well, let's find out. Okay, I wanted to get Mon-Star in position before I tried this, because again, fully extended arms, so it gets tiresome holding up the figure when your arm's fully extended. So let's see, we've got the flat end of his forearm guards facing upwards, and we're gonna try and put Sky Shadow on top. Well, you can see that the wings get in the way. We put the wings forward. No, so that doesn't work. Let's see, try a little higher. There you go, got it. But yeah, that's not. You can see the wing; it just goes all over to on top of the shoulder. So I'm sure there's a smarter way to do this. I guess maybe with the arm bent. Let me one second. Okay, as you can see, I was trying to see if you can get the arm at an angle bent forward but it's still the wingspan is still too far enough to where the the shoulder pad gets in the way. So, I mean, you can perch him up like that if you want, but he's not holding on to his forearm. I mean, just barely, just by one of the claws. So yeah, I mean, you can cheat it, but it's not stable at all. See, so there's that. And then just to round off the final accessories that we have for Mon-Star, we have these yellow blast effects, clear and yellow blast effects. So these are the ones that go on the back of his elbows, which act as boosters. Now these ones you can plug in right there, and just like in the animation, you can see him blast off using his elbow blasters here, right? And conversely, you can use these ones for the same purpose. So these ones fit in there. So these ones are a little smaller. So I don't know if these ones were used for propulsion, these ones, and then these ones, if these were used as beams for firing, right? So I don't know if that is what these were for, because it's the only place where they fit. They don't fit with the with his gun, so I'm guessing that is what they're there for. Oh boy, so yeah, I'm pretty tired. This is quite a workout, like I said. Having your full arms extended, carrying this pretty heavy figure, and yeah, it's quite a workout. But you know, like I said, it's a pretty impressive figure. If you're a fan of Silverhawks, obviously you need your Mon-Star in your collection. I guess the alternate would be the version that was put out by Ramen Toys. So Ramen Toys, I'll try and put a picture here for comparison. The Ramen Toys is, I believe, way smaller. He's more of your average standard size. I believe he's around this size by comparison. Um, and it's a more modern take. So this is this is definitely the cartoon version. But again, this figure originally is like $90 or something. But I got them with the discount from Black Friday weekend. I think I got them for like 40, around 45. Yeah, he was the most expensive of the three figures that I bought. So he was 45. Quicksilver, I believe, was around 25, and then Steel Heart was the cheapest at like 20 to $22, something like that. So yeah, I believe I paid just a little over 90, a little under $100 for all three figures. Yeah, so yeah, that was a pretty cool purchase over Black Friday weekend. Maybe next year I'll finish off the team at around the same time, right? Maybe hopefully they put up discounts again next year for the Super Silverhawks. Oh, so yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.